Being prepared for an emergency while living away from home and in a college dorm can sometimes be difficult. I've done my best to prepare my room for any emergency that may arise. I'm going to walk you through a little bit of my setup. The first thing I've done is to the windows behind me here. I'm on the ground floor of this particular dorm building, so I felt that it was necessary to apply some sort of coating or protection to these windows. I've applied an 8 mil thick security film that will help these windows from being broken from the outside, while not impeding my egress if I need to break them and get out from the inside. Next, we're going to take a look at what I've done to the door in order to secure that. On top of the dresser right next to the door, I keep a homemade door locking device. Now this device slides down over the hinges in order to prevent the door from being opened. It sits flat against the wall and flat against the door. So by grabbing these two handles here, it slides down and locks those hinges, so this door cannot be opened even if it had a key. On top of the dresser, you'll see I have my door lock right there, and right next to it I keep my body armor. This is a level 3A soft body armor covert vest from Safeguard Arms. This is only to be used if there's an active shooter or some situation like that, and because it's covert, I'm actually able to put it underneath a sweatshirt or something like that so that I wouldn't cause alarm or draw attention or anything like that. Next, we're going to take a look at my communication section. You'll see I have quite a few radios over here. This first one on the end is a scanner programmed with the college security and local fire department, as well as these two portables here, which both have college security and the fire department. I take each one of these depending on the situation. This one's a little bit more discreet because it's smaller, but this one gets better reception. You'll also see I have a radio in the middle with a couple wires plugged into it. The wire coming off the top runs up to the ceiling where I have an antenna mounted for better reception. Another wire goes into this laptop sitting in front of it. This laptop is recording 24/7 audio of the security here at the college. I use a program called Scanner Recorder, which removes all the dead air between the recordings and creates a nice text file log of how long each recording was and when it took place. As you can see in the recording on screen, the recording time is vastly smaller than the elapsed time. I find that in my experience, the security at my school speaks for about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes during a 24-hour period. This makes reviewing the recordings at a later date much easier because you don't have to listen to all the dead space in between. The other scanner I have here on the end is a Uniden Bearcat. This is capable of listening to trunk systems, so this can do the PD, fire department, or security, whatever I need it to do. This wall right next to my communications section has maps and diagrams of the call boxes on campus, evacuation points, and any pertinent information I would need like that. You'll see on the wall I have two signs, one that says fire extinguisher and one that says SCBA. They can be found right down here on the floor. I have a small fire extinguisher as well as an air tank for an SCBA. You'll see the face mask and regulator hang right here on the wall, so I can easily grab those and put them on, and the hose is neatly packed in the SCBA. Now on the SCBA, I also have a gas meter. It does 5 gases, and I have a brake glow stick, so if I have to crawl out because of a fire or something, I'll be easily found. On the floor, you'll see where I have my fire extinguisher and SCBA unit. That sits right next to a large safe that I use for handling any important documents or anything I couldn't afford to lose or have taken. This black bag sitting on top is my emergency get-out bag. This has everything I need to safely get out of the building and deal with any situations that may arise in doing so. We'll go through that in a second. Underneath the bed in this blue bin here, we have a lot of the bigger equipment that I don't necessarily need when I'm leaving, but I might need in the room, so it stays right there. First, we're going to look at my black get-out bag. I apologize if there's any noise in the background. It's the college dorm and not everyone's cooperating with me. This black bag is a Rush Pack from 511. The first thing you'll notice is I have a flashlight on the outside here. This is actually in a belt holster, but for convenience I put it on a strap on the side. First, we're going to look at this smaller pocket on the outside. In here I keep things that I would either need to quickly grab or just smaller items. So first thing that sticks out, you'll see I have a yellow reflective vest in here, as well as a pad over here, pens and pencils, an N95 particulate mask, a Leatherman multi-tool, and this is a Pelican wallet. Now I use the Pelican wallet for storing things like insurance information, a small amount of cash, and things like that that I might need in an emergency. As well as a small repair kit back here for rips and tears and things like that. Up top there's a small zippered pocket. In here I keep some CPR masks, a little thermometer for your forehead, and a small piece of rope. Moving inside, you can see I have the bulk of my items in here. We're going to start on this side with the zippered pockets and move to this side. This small zippered pocket here has things like gloves, a battery bank, some regular batteries, pepper spray, and a phone charger. In this pocket here, we have some work gloves, an air horn for signaling, and the base of another item I'm going to show you in a second. First up, you're going to see the light wand that I just showed you the base for. This has a couple different settings. It can do strobe or solid or even SOS on it. And it's very bright and able to easily direct people where they need to go or just move things along. Underneath that, I have a couple of these brake light sticks. These are good for just throwing down near an exit or something like that if you need to show people where to go, or generally just clipping them onto you so people will see you if you're crawling. I have another pair of work gloves, as well as a pair of fire department gloves in case I need to escape and there's fire and handles are hot or anything like that. I can put these on and not have to worry about touching hot metal or anything like that. I have a Narcan kit in here, which is an expansion on my first aid kit, as well as a CPR mask and my first aid kit. Now, I'm not going to go into great detail on what this first aid kit has in it, but I will say that this has enough to treat everything I could possibly face. So this was based on the 2.0 version of the Adventure Medical Kit, but I've added to it. So I added things such as a trauma kit, quick clot, and things like that to deal with any emergency. I have another one of those gas alert meters. This one is the Gas Alert Clip Extreme, and this is just in there for if there's a gas leak or something like that that I'd want to be aware of. All I do is turn this on, I can clip it to the outside of the bag, and it gives a loud, audible alert. A water bottle, which is necessary for any emergency. And down here I also have a sweatshirt, because if a fire alarm goes off, I want to immediately get out of this building. And if it's late or if it's in the winter or something like that, I could wind up running out of this building without a jacket or something like that. So I keep a sweatshirt in here just because staying warm is very important and you don't know how long you'll be stuck outside of this building for. Next, we're going to take a look at the box I keep under my bed. The first thing I have in this box is a car kit. Now, this has come in handy many times because it has things like jumper cables and extra fuses inside of it. The next thing I keep is plastic sheeting. Now, this is used to seal up the door or any vents or anything like that. So of course I have a roll of duct tape with it as well. I have spare N95 masks in case I need them. I also have a tool bag. This thing has channel locks and blades and screwdrivers and anything I can need like that to fix anything. I also keep a set of lock picks in here. Because this is also my kit for home, I keep a couple flares in here. These aren't actually going to be used at the dorms, but these would be things that I leave in the car, and these are just extras of existing kits. I also have a Stanley FUBAR. Now this would be if my door ever got jammed shut or I needed to break through something in an emergency evacuating. I needed to hit through the window or something like that. This would be the item I was using. And in a waterproof container, this has numerous flashlights and batteries as backups, as well as a headlamp. I hope you found this video informative and maybe it gave you some ideas for how you could prep in your dorm room. If you have any ideas for items that I should have had here, leave them in the comments below.